Alright, last Epoch, spoiler week 3, day 3. What do we have today? Hello travelers, welcome to the third installment of pre-patch Hypeweek blog posts. We've mentioned some of the new crafting options previously, and today's blog post will dig into all the specifics on the endgame itemization potential waiting inside the new tombs, cemeteries, and woven echoes. We'll also delve into more of the balance changes beyond the Sentinel overhaul and a few uniques and idols coming to Last Epoch Season 2, Tombs of the Based, Erased. Endgame crafting additions, we know players level or forge, or more accurately our crafting mechanic, and in Season 2 the Weaver has blessed us with 6 endgame crafting methods to aid you on your journey through Terra. Welcome, Scatterbrain. Set Shattering. A battle with emboldened foes bolstered by barrages of burning projectiles rages as you break through barricades and beat back mobs to cross the Great Bridge. Once victory is yours and all enemies have been vanquished, you will find what they fought so hard to protect, the Forge of Shattering. Here you can shatter your set items for set shards, so instead of like making set items good, they just decided to scrap them, like literally. And give you like set stuff like shards for crafting instead. Each set item will create a specific set affix based on the set item shattered. For example, shattering Villatria's Storm Downfall staff would provide 1 to 4 Villatria's Storm Downfall reforged shards that can be crafted into a staff to turn it into Villatria's Storm Downfall Reforged. What? As with normal affixes, set affixes can be crafted up to tier 5, however, using a new rune of Havoc, which shuffles all tiers of non-sealed affixes, you have the potential of reaching a tier 6 or tier 7 set affix. Interesting. So here, for example, you have the set affix, increased armor per forged weapon, health regen per forged weapon. On a like classic standard like Sentinel helmet. But how will these items apply set bonuses? I hear you ask. When an item gains a set affix and items can only have one type of set affix, it is considered a set item for the purpose of the set bonus, with each set affix providing 2 stats from that specific set item. So, yeah, you can have like, if you have like a 3-piece set, you can shatter all 3 pieces and you can like put those shards on like the, like, according pieces, like item types, non-set item types, and also like non-legendary and non-unique item types. They have to be like craftable exalted items, for example. And then having like 3 of those like exalted items with set affixes on them will also grant you the set bonuses. Remember, like set items, reforged sets items are unique enough that they cannot be combined with an actual unique in the Eternity cache to create legendary items. So this will disable them for like crafting legendaries, which is fine. Reforged equals Ascendant in Grim Dawn. Like Ellie is scrapping set items and Grim Dawn is scrapping blue items, I guess, yeah. Idle enchanting. After defeating the boss in the tomb or cemetery, don't just leave. In the final room, you will have the Woven Enchanter, which allows you to enchant class-specific idols, adorned, grant, huge, large, or ornate, huge idols, with new affixes called enchanted affixes or some Weaver's Touch. They already showed this, didn't they? Blah, 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 blah. Could already reroll existing enchanted affixes and Weaver's Touch for Memory Amber. Weaver's Touch is consumed with like Weaver's Will when slaying enemies to upgrade the idol further. This can upgrade the existing enchanted affixes to add or a new enchanted affix if there is an empty slot. Another unique property of the enchanted affixes is that these will come from a new pool of affixes that cannot be found on idols elsewhere and, unlike standard idol affixes, can reach tier 7. That's cool. I mean, it's power creep, but it's cool. Tombs will allow you to use the Woven Enchanter once, cemeteries twice. You already know this. And some Woven Echoes may allow you to use it up to 4 times. The number applies to each enchant and re-enchant and can be used on different idols. For example, if an altar has 3 uses, a player may choose to place an enchanted idol in and enchant it, then re-enchant the same idol for Memory Amber. This would count as 2 uses of the Woven Enchanter. The player could then place a different idol in the Woven Enchanter and choose to enchant or re-enchant it depending on their wishes. This would consume the 3rd use of the Woven Enchanter available on them. What? So you can add an affix, you can like roll an affix. Like reroll the affix. Yeah. Okay. Once an idol is enchanted, however, re-enchanting it will remove any enchanted affixes and unspent Weaver's Touch and grant the idol a new enchanted affix and a new Weaver's Touch amount. Right. Weaver's Touch like will translate into like higher tiers on the affixes, right? Attribute swapping, the observer, so it's like gambling in a way, once again, but I mean, lots of like ARPG crafting is gambling in a way. Actually, in Grim Dawn, there's not that much gambling. There are some things with gambling, but not that much. Not as much as like in LE, for example, and not as much as in PoE, that's for sure. The observer watches all timelines, so does the traveler. At Werden's watch, protect the relic of the observer in the Divine Era from the Osprix encamped in the abandoned tower and reclaim the refortified Lich's Tower from Imperial forces in the Imperial Era. Time travel between the 2 towers to defeat both armies and take control of the relic of the observer, a powerful artifact that allows you to alter the attributes of your items. So this is you can like reroll the what? Isn't that like what some of the runes can do for the forge as well? Once claimed, you can use the relic of the observer to replace a non-sealed attribute affix, intelligence, strength, dex, or attunement with a different attribute of your choosing. Oh, but this is like, you can actually choose, there is no gambling. This is just dedicated crafting. Like, full attribute swap. The tier and roll range of the replaced affix will be preserved on the new affix. Wait, this is crazy good. Like, crazy strong. What? You have like a tier 7, I don't know, intelligence, but you want like tier 7 strength, you can just go here and swap them. It does not work for vitality though, but for int, strength, dex, and attunement. I mean, makes sense. The observer's gaze may touch many domains, but life remains in the hands of Etera. This is why you cannot replace or choose vitality, yeah. Or attribute affix. Like these are on like different item types. The Weaver's Web has taken you to the ruined prison complex, a fortress from where the imprisoned exiled mages are temporarily displaced across Etera. As you infiltrate the complex and open the ruined prisons, you will draw the ire of the rune wardens. Defeat them to unlock the very device rune mages use to create experimental items and craft your own. Here you may wield the arcane knowledge that led to some mages being imprisoned and exiled, and replace a prefix with an experimental affix on belts, boots, and gloves. Any item you wish to craft must have at least 2 prefixes though. The Thaumaturgy device will not interfere with the work of other mages, so your item must have any experimental affixes. So you defeat rune wardens, you unlock the device that rune mages use to create experimental items that you farmed from them. And then you can replace that with another one, basically. Actually, no, it's any prefix, right? Oh, wait, no, it cannot have an experimental affix. Right. Makes sense. I mean, does it keep the tier? It would be insane. Quality does not go unnoticed either. The chance of higher tier experimental affix outcomes increases with the combined prefix tiers. If the prefixes are exalted tier 6 or 7, then they contribute much more to the chance of higher tier outcomes. So it's not the same tier, that would be too OP, but if you have like a tier 7 prefix and like another tier 5 prefix, for example, then the tier of the experimental affix will be higher on average than if you didn't have like high prefix tiers. Rerolling uniques. Finally, the unique you have always wanted drops, but fate has not been kind when it comes to implicits and affixes attached to it. A feeling of strife washes over you, blah 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 blah. Fear not, traveler, the Weaver provides the Weaver provides it as long as you offer it first. Find yourself a gauntlet of strife woven echo and prove your worth by defeating a series of bosses and their champions in order to access the sacrificial altar. Here you can sacrifice one copy of any unique legendary Weaver's Will or set item to reroll all the implicits and affixes on a matching item. The sacrificed item must at minimum meet the potential of the item you wish to reroll. For example, to reroll a unique with 2 LP, you sacrifice an item that also has 2 LP. Yeah. Does it have to be exactly the same item or the same type? Matching item. This could be literally the same item. Maybe that's literally just the same item. Travelers should know that while the LP or Reaver's will be preserved, all FX ranges, including unique, implicit, and legendaries, are rerolled. This will not change the tier of legendary affixes, only reroll their ranges within the tiers they already have. This will not change the tier of legendary affixes, only reroll the ranges within the tiers they already have. Okay, so you can also put a legendary here and like use another unique as a sacrifice. Right? And then it will like reroll all the stats, including the legendary affix. I believe. It's not like fully clear. Yeah, but like can you re-roll an item that already has legendary affixes on it? You can, like according to this sentence, but like there's no example here. Like a legendary that had 2 LP before obviously has 0 LP after the craft, but it has like 2 legendary affixes. But I guess it like still counts as like a 2 LP item, so you need like 2 LP item to reroll that one as well. Uniques do have fixed affixes, but it's about like the like range, right? The min and the max values. So like you're re-rolling the min and max values here. This is what this is about. Like the implicit and whatever affixes they have attached to them. Like okay, you can have like different affixes. Like they don't drop. They always drop at like fixed stats, like fixed implicits and like fixed affixes. They're always the same. But then you can like craft additional affixes onto them. And those are depending on like which item you fuse the unique with. They can be different. Legendary crafting potential. See the turtle of enormous girth. What the fuck is that sentence? Praise Tutel. On his shell he holds the earth. Through her web, find this legendary creature for a legendary crafting opportunity. Though the open sea is filled with both wonder and danger. Object in the far side turtle concept art may appear smaller than they are. Once you place unique items with at least 1 LP into the transmuting gem, you can take your chances at rerolling the amount of LP potential each item has. For each item, the new LP potential is rolled the same way as the legendary potential of a freshly dropped unique of that type. So think carefully and pray the Weaver blesses you. Okay, which one are you? So you offer items, but like which one are you actually rerolling? Are you rerolling all of them or? However, should the Weaver forsake you and fail to grant your item any additional legendary potential, all LP on the item will be taken by her. To thank you for your offering, the Weaver will gift you a rare shard for each LP taken. All is not lost though, as uniques with a 0 LP may be given to a nemesis in the place of the Egg of the Forgotten to try and gain back LP. True, there's like actual like tons of mechanics now. You can like recycle items in many different ways. What the fuck does it have to do with the turtle though? I have no idea. Like this is just a random turtle. They just wanted to like show the turtle's massive girth, I guess. New crafting materials, Rune of Weaving. We know that having the right gear can be an integral part of not just surviving all that Iterra throws at you, but progressing on your path to save it. Which is why unequipping that carefully crafted 2x tier 7 exalted weapon to see what the Weaver might bless you with can be a tough choice. Enter the Rune of Weaving. Transforms a random amount of the remaining Weaver's Will or Weaver's Touch to an item into additional affixes or affix tiers as if you had slain many enemies with that item equipped. This just like instantly insta-consumes all of the Weaver's Will and like transforms it to affixes. You will be able to place an item into your forge with this rune, where it will take each swing of the hammer as a swing or firing of your weapon of choice and transform some amount of the current Weaver's Will or Weaver's Touch on your gear or idols into additional affixes or upgrade existing affix tiers. Okay, yeah. Rune of Havoc, you finally see it. Your loot filter has been emphasized because it has the affix you want. That exalted item you will never... you've needed dropped. You pick it up. Tier 5, Tier 5, Tier 6, Tier 3. That one affix you wanted to be Tier 6 or higher is Tier 3. And you don't have the shards to craft it. But what do you have? What you do have is a few Runes of Havoc. With this rune, you can shuffle the tiers of non-sealed affixes on an item with each other. This includes the... the set affix tiers as well, which you can not drop and you can only craft to tier 5, but if you switch around you can get like tier 6 or tier 7 set affixes like that, but only like this. The roles of the affixes within their tiers are preserved even if their tier doesn't change. So it's not rolling the like min or like the percentage of the max roll within that tier. The Weaver touches you in many ways, indeed. Also, to prevent the rune from being wasted, you will not be able to use this rune on an item if all sealed affixes share the same tier. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Another way to use this rune is by taking that super rare affix you only have a few of. For example, level of meteor, craft as at tier 1. Yeah, I mean, that's obvious, right? You craft like a tier 1 affix, and you shuffle, and then you craft the, like now, easier to craft tier 1 up to tier 5. And maybe you have actually like a tier 7 level of meteor, maybe like tier 5 only, but I mean, that's also a lot better. Rune of Redemption, you pick up that exalted item, it's a triple tier 7. Wait, what? How do... I have never seen triple tier 7. I guess if you play the game a lot, it happens. You have been blessed. Then you read the affixes. One of those 3 is decent, but the others, it's garbage. You wish they were anything else. After all, you really don't need minion-focused affixes. Yeah, who the fuck needs minion affixes ever? That's true. If only you had a way to redeem this item. Rune of Redemption. Change the non-sealed exalted affixes on an item while preserving the affix tiers and roles within those tiers. The new affixes are randomly chosen from the same pool as those that can naturally spawn the type of item when dropping from a regular enemy. I mean, what will end up happening, right, is you have 1 good tier 7 and 2 bad tier 7s, and after you use this, you have 3 bad tier 7s. I mean, I guess you just like reuse this until you're out of like crafting potential. This only rerolls the exalted affixes, right? The non-exalted ones stay the same. Balance changes. Boss Ward. The feedback we received on Boss Ward was substantial and divisive. While many players were in favor of the change from dynamic damage reduction, I mean, yeah, it's better than that for sure, we also heard all the feedback on how this change affected gameplay. We have been working on some adjustments to how the boss ward mechanics applied in reducing the frequency that players will encounter it. In Season 2, the initial decay rate of boss ward will be doubled, and it will be seen in far fewer enemies than before. It will only be found on bosses that feel like they should have it. The most notable bosses such as Avaroth, Harbinger, will keep their boss ward, makes sense. However, lesser enemies such as exiled mages, nemesis, or mini-bosses will no longer have it. Bosses that have had their boss ward removed have been compensated by increasing their health. Yeah, that makes sense. This is a good change, I think. Only having it on like key enemies makes a lot of sense, and everything else. Like, not every like white mob needs a fucking boss ward, right? So just increasing health is fine. Through which you can like chunk through faster if you have damage, and also, yeah, if you have like cull stuff, it's also a lot better, yeah. Player balance changes. We delicate balance of health, ward, defense between passive skills, items, and integral part of last Epoch. Yeah, ward was OP as fuck. There was a TLDR for the last the last season, right? Or like release and season 1. Season 0 and season 1. Often players find that specific classes or builds have had an easier time scaling health, where others excel more with ward. So whenever one of them is substantially better than the other, we'll see the meta closely be tied around builds that can utilize whichever is better at the time. Yeah, which was ward most, at least for softcore. In recent patches, ward has been more even for hardcore. Ward has been more dominant meta for a few reasons. The introduction of too many masteries, remastered warlock, major buff the sorcerer, and the healing hands on sentinel as well. But that already got taken care of, I feel like. These classes all had many good sources of skills and passive to invest in ward regen, or generation rather, as the primary defense. This, combined with ward being strongly tied to gear, made it not being strongly tied to gear rather, made it very easy to obtain high amounts of ward, while health required lots of itemization to complete. Really? I guess, yeah. In Season 2, we're making a few changes to tighten the gap between the two defensive options, and below are some details to tide you over while you wait for the patch notes with a full list of changes to April 11th. Ward. Intelligence attribute provides both damage scaling and ward retention. The integral part, keeping ward to gain as high as possible. This in combination with passives and items that provide additional scaling. Yeah, intelligence OP basically, TLDR. Ward retention. To address this, we have reduced ward retention offered by the intelligence attribute to 2% from 4%, okay? So, and there's worse for ward retention, which ultimately means like less sustained ward. Sustainable ward. However, due to how the ward decay formula works, seen below, this doesn't just simply mean that the amount of ward you maintain is cut in half. Yeah, it's less than a 50% nerf, right? It's like way less than that. Or is it? I don't quite remember, but I think this is not like a 50% nerf, it's less than that. It is a nerf, of course, but it's not as bad as that. Plot, yeah, we need like a plot, to be fair. Fuck, if I was on my laptop, I could just like plot it in R, I guess, real quick. Can just like plot this in Google? Can we Google plot this? Plot a formula. Equation grapher. Go. Okay, that doesn't really work. Plot. ChatGPT, maybe. Quick. Classic. Okay, let's read some more here first. Some of this ward retention can be added through new affixes, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't seem right, does it? What? What? I have to think about this a bit more, maybe off stream. The ward decay threshold, we're also offsetting this by increasing the amount of other lesser scaling stats that help you increase your ward pool through gear. These stats are ward per second, ward decay threshold. A new craftable hybrid affix will spawn on rings and amulets and help increase not only the rate you generate ward per second, but also raise ward decay threshold. That seems pretty darn good. Have they tested this, and is it actually a nerf, or is it like one of those instances where they're nerfing it but compensating, and then whoops, it's just as strong as before? Ward per second for offhand, okay, and helmets and body armor. What? Okay, health and endurance. Season 2 comes with substantial buffs to health regen as well. To be fair, this stuff here, even if it does give you like the same ward as before, you're not getting damage scaling because it's not int. So that's good at least. Okay. Buffs to health regen. Added health regen, less of a scarce stat, but also by slightly buffing the values of increased health regen affix. 15% across the board. Added health affix available on almost all equipment. Slots have been increased for tiers 4 to 7. Okay. Very nice. So more HP, I guess. Well, making it, I guess, more mandatory. Yeah, you need to invest items on it. I mean, intelligence, you also had to invest into, but you got intelligence, I guess, more for free on the classes as well. Rings and relics can also spawn with a new hybrid health affix. Health and health regen. Okay. Which, this is bad for ward, right? Like, you wanted to like get flat health to convert to ward for like certain items, but you never wanted health regen. And so like getting health regen makes this like unusable or like unabusable for ward, basically. If I remember correctly. Yeah, like less added health, but gives you regen on top. Makes sense. Increase health regen. The suffix will spawn on helmets, body armor, belts, rings, relics. As of Season 2, it will no longer spawn on gloves. For Legacy player, existing gloves with this affix will remain the same, but no longer be upgradable in the Forge. Okay. Is this actually a good affix though? Like, it might be good on like certain health regen stackers, I guess. Maybe. Health regen can be insane if like once you get like beyond a certain threshold, I guess. We also have a few other changes related to health, which are detailed below. Extra potion slot and potion health. Health gain and potion use increased by 50%. Potions heal 50 plus 10 per level, up from 50 plus 5 per level. Okay. So potions heal more health, basically. Endurance. The endurance threshold suffix will only roll on belts. Also, like, endurance threshold was kind of a bad stat, right? This will free up FX slots that previously competed with the added health suffix, which will also increase your endurance threshold as well as it scales with your total health. Yeah, exactly. Like, this was just worse than like just adding health most of the time. This change was made as in most cases endurance threshold needlessly exactly. It also like needlessly diluted the pool, I guess. Exactly. Items from previous seasons with endurance threshold will remain as they are. It's kind of cool, like you always have like legacy stuff in this game. More ward, more health, more crit avoidance, more dodge. Those are all going to help when a mob or boss hits you, but what about when an enemy lands an attack? That's not a hit. Exactly. Damage over time is another area players have let us know is a point they would like to see improved. Dude, like getting hit by like damage over time spires in maps was terrible, right? Just terrible. In Season 2, we are reducing the damage over time players take by 15% globally, as well as halving the current damage over time bonus enemies receive from corruption. Okay, that's nice. More health and damage, you only get like 30% more damage over time. Yeah, okay. Skills, just like other major updates, Season 2 comes with lots of changes to skills, while some skills near the ceiling are being brought down a notch, such as Mana Stacking Static Orb, Sacrifice with high minion counts, Falcon Builds, Dive Bomb, Potion Ballista. Okay. We're also buffing a significant amount of skills that have been on the weaker side. Sentinel Rework already looked at yesterday. Okay, Black Hole, base damage and damage effectiveness are doubled. Time Duration Node provides 10% increased duration per point. Singularity grants 100% more damage. Black Hole build may be finally viable? Who even knows? Flurries, damage effectiveness, blah blah blah. This is just patch notes, right? Like, shouldn't we just like read the patch notes instead of this once they're out? But yeah, like there's buffs to Black Hole, Flurry, Shuriken, Acid Blast, Tornado, Maelstrom, Ice Barrage, Dreadshade. Black Arrows, movement skills are able to shortcut through corners and short gaps more than before. Nice. Warcry's Berserk buff duration has been increased. Puncture's Bleeding Fury is more damage. Burning Dagger has been buffed, I guess. I'm gonna look at this like properly when the actual patch notes are out, but like right now it's kind of weird to like look at the stuff twice, right? You're gonna look at this now and then like again. Disintegrate Laser Focus now grants less damage. Oh, like less damage, so it's a buff. No longer has ailment, less ailment chance. Is this like insane for ailment stacking now? Could be very insane actually, like it's like basically more than double ailment chance now. And then some pet stuff, I mean who cares about pets? Uniques, balancing uniques. Eye of Reen no longer requires you to crit with a direct melee attack in order to gain attack of Reen. Reen's Ire. You can use it with Warpath and other skills which hit with indirect attacks. Cool. Border's Wrath with the Quakes. What? 100% chance to use Earthquake after using a non-channeled movement ability
Good,
up to
you're
2
back.
times every 5 seconds. Okay. Yeah, Matthias, thanks for 3 months. Welcome back. Appreciate the support. Eye of Storms. Wait, is this like actually good for something like Leap now? Maybe. Leap Quake. I feel like Leap's cooldown is still like just mostly too high. Eye of Storms. Cast Smash every 3 seconds. Yeah, now it's like guaranteed instead of like giving a chance, right? Stormbreaker. Instead of a 36% chance to cast Lightning Strike when you use a skill, cost 10 mana. Using Stormbreaker unique, gain a Storm stack when they directly use a melee attack and hit at least one enemy. Huh, you can gain Storm stacks without... But to like scale Lightning Strike, you still want to do the Gathering Storm thingy, right?
Good, you're back.
I guess you don't have to like actually use Gathering Storm actively though. Yo, DMT, welcome back. 47 months, how you doing, man? Thanks for the resub. Hello. New uniques, 3 mic streams, the official trader, and the 2 of the Raise podcast. A fair few of the upcoming uniques have been teased already, blah, 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 blah. Wait, they're showing some more here as well. Eye of Roger, Primordial Pig, Cuddle... What is this? Oh, this is like just pets you can have, I guess. Sir Tormod was one of the most well-regarded historians to document the history, flora, and fauna of Terra, allowing us to view the world as they saw it. As very few get the chance to. That's not to say that the way they viewed the world was entirely correct. This offhand catalyst gives an off-piste look at the history of Terra, summoning a historically accurate minion from a random area of Terra to join you on your journey. Wait, is it an actual minion or? You hype for LE, and then I remember that they have the garbage model system. I mean, they are making it better, right? Yeah, cuddly purple dog. Eye of Roger, primordial pig, immortal ear. Add a special tree isn't bigger than PoE. I mean, that's not bad necessarily. Critical strike chance has always been important when dealing damage. Now, with this innovative new unique, it's important for recovering health and mana. Holy shit, we made crit chance even more important because it already was super important, so why not make it more important? That screams build variety. Holy fuck, dude. The crit strike it also applies to your potion uses. When a potion use crits, what the fuck? The health and the ward you immediately gain from it is multiplied by the percentage of your crit strike multi. What? That's gonna be broken maybe. Not sure though. That's gonna be giga broken, right? Like, what? You can get like very high crit multi in LE, right? And you can also get to like 100% crit chance eventually on like close to 100% crit chance on many builds. If you scale it high enough. 700 crit multi, so you get just like 8 times more the amount of like healing. And I mean, you do like, wait, what do you need to convert potion health to ward again? Is it a belt or is it something else? I mean, if you can convert all of it to ward, it's giga busted. Oh, it's a belt. Okay, so they do conflict at least. Because like, imagine you could like get this, which gives you like additional ward and health gained, and then like 8 times of that, and then you just like spam it and gain like 5 billion like ward right again. Oh, 25% of crit multiplies the potions. Okay, it's not quite as busted then. Good catch. It's not quite as busted then. I'd probably not use this item because I'll never get it with like reasonable LP, but it does have the poison cold res base, which is, I guess, resistances at least. There was never any crit multi on belt before. I mean, this is only 12% though. The values aren't that high. But yeah, if you have like 3 LP, I guess this is like really good. Pot builds, log in. Brewmasters, buckle up and drink until your heart is content. While it provides 4 extra potion slots, a hearty 20% endurance, and a whopping 14 vitality. I mean, this spell is kind of insane too. Brewmaster has a secret hidden up their sleeve, more accurately in this belt that you will only discover by wearing it. Wait, what? They say beer makes you bold. It say it makes you unbreakable. Wait, is this like some bullshit where like, like sometimes, right, you drop a beer instead of a health potion, which is basically a health potion. Does it turn all potions into beer? Or does it like do something special when you pick up a beer instead of a health potion? Who knows? 10% of max health gain is endurance threshold for 4 seconds when you use a potion. I mean, yeah, it's a really nice like tanky belt for sure. No damage. I mean, if you're playing Auto Bomber Void Knight, vitality is damage. $11 crit multi. Yeah. It has 12, okay, not 11. At least on this roll, it probably can like roll 10 as well. Thank you for being here. Yeah, okay. Thank you for watching, chat. Thank you for being here. Clap, clap, clap. What do you think, guys? What do you think about all this crafting? Is it too much? Is it too little? Is it just right? Is it poggies? Is it nay? Is it residential sleeper? What do you think?